On the eve of Christmas, we've got a brand new Starship Discovery episode to watch. Join myself and my team here at Trek Central as we dive into the realm of Star Trek once again, with Season 3, Episode 11. Hello everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Trek Central. Episode 11 of Season 3 starts Sakal, having originally been called the Citadel, but seemingly changed with the course of the season so far. This episode is written by Anne Queffel-Sanders, and we've been looking forward to what she would bring to the Discovery table for some time now, ever since her episode about scavengers. The episode itself is directed by Norma Bailey, another Dubuque Trek director like last week's episode. Don't forget, we've covered Star Trek Discovery Season 3 weekly here on Trek Central, so make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from myself and the team. You can also follow us on social media for the latest news and information from the Star Trek universe. Spoilers alert, we'll be discussing this episode in full detail, so if you want to avoid spoilers, here's your opportunity to turn away now. This episode gave us answers to questions we've had for some time now. We'll be discussing the burn in a later section and how the Kelpian ship, specifically the child of the original Kelpian scientist, relates to it. For now, let's discuss the episode as a whole. Overall, this episode was rather enjoyable, and certain elements reminded me of previous iterations of Star Trek. While watching, I'm certainly getting the Next Generation vibes from certain scenes, especially if you consider that this episode is essentially a holodeck episode, with it much more reminding me of a Voyager holodeck episode such as Heroes and Demons. There were many moments that stood out to me. One of the first ones that sticks out as memorable is that we as viewers actually get to see Doug Jones' face in Star Trek Discovery for the first time. Typically Doug is always wearing Saru's makeup, therefore we don't actually see him. The first indication we get of him is standing on flat ground, as he does not have the typical Kelpian feet. Instead, he is fully human, just like he actually is. It's a different thing really, and I have to commend the writers for making this choice. It works really well. Even though Jones is well known for acting with prosthetics and makeup, he acts super well without it as well. I loved it personally. The more and more I watch this episode, the more I find myself engaged with Discovery. I'm going to be honest, I sort of lost interest in the season a little bit, due to a variety of factors. Luckily, it's pulled me back into the fold with this episode. I think because it's one of these episodes, a bit like the third episode People of Earth, that is a classic Trek mix of fresh, vibrant, new elements of storytelling. Let me know if you agree with me down below in the video comment section. Talking about Ensign Tilly for a moment, she obviously gets an important moment in taking command of the Discovery while Captain Saru leads an away team. This is a moment all first officers come to terms with, being left in the command chair for the first time. You're not only commanding the starship and making the big choices, you're also responsible for the lives of everyone aboard that ship. Putting my personal feelings on Tilly being first officer aside, she did do a great job of it. Given the circumstances, she was faced with difficult decisions, but remained cool at all times. Mainly during her handling of Osira and the interactions she's had with her were world class, might I say. Now talking personally, I still stand by the idea that Tilly being first officer, or should I say acting first officer, is an odd choice. Now we've discussed this in previous episode reviews, so you can go and watch those. However, even in this episode, Admiral Vance raises an eye when Saru mentions leaving her in charge while he goes on his away mission. Though I do sit and rewatch this episode thinking, who else could have possibly taken on command as a main character and did anything differently here? I think nearly everyone on the ship would have likely made the same choices given their shot in the chair. Faced with challenges, I think Tilly remained calm and collected as a first officer, and the one in charge of the ship and crew. Hopefully at some point we get to see who is made permanent first officer of the Discovery. That decision is going to be an odd one, and part of me thinks we may not get it towards the end of the season. It could likely come in Season 4, depending on how Season 3 ends right now. Obviously we have to talk about the burn. This is a mystery and an event we've been chasing not only since episode 1 of Season 3, but since we had our first glimpse via the Discovery trailers. Finally, we get more concrete information on how the burn was caused. From first glance, it appears that Sakal, the Kelpian boy, trapped on the crashed starship has somehow caused the burn via letting out a scream as a defense measure. This in turn has caused dilithium to go inert and unstable. Given the crash ship is located on a very rich dilithium planet, it would make sense, given we have a sci-fi solution at hand. The episode somewhat explains this with a short conversation between the away team and Book. Essentially, if Sakal lets out another scream, it has the power to cause another burn, the likes of which would affect the galaxy even more, given the current state. As Dr. Culber points out, bodies adapt, meaning something has happened to Sakal while they've been on the planet. Before jumping the gun, while I'm personally not a massive total fan of this being the burn cause, it is very Star Trek to the core, Instead of it being slightly cliche and some evil faction doing it, we have a scared and alone boy who lets out a scream because he's afraid. To me, this is a simple yet effective Star Trek story. It's not about who's firing guns, it's about the individual here, who inadvertently caused this because they were alone and scared. Now we've still got 2 more episodes of Star Trek Discovery to go, and I expect the final episode to likely resolve this even more, given that Saru and Culber were left on the planet with Sakal. Personally, I would have liked it if someone like the Radresh were behind the Burn story, and who knows, they might be. We don't know the full story just yet, and that's why I'm not giving my total thoughts on the cause of the Burn right now. I honestly would not be surprised if there was something else behind this event which caused a galaxy-wide shutdown, so to say. Think about it, all infrastructure keeping the galaxy going took a big hit. Sure, the likes of the Federation have recovered by now, partially, with other such powers as the Emerald Chain also taking a stance, but this event would give some faction a perfect amount of time and resources to move around the galaxy if it was planned correctly. Ultimately, we'll see what this holds for the story so far. Overall, I did very much like the episode's connections to the Burn. Again, I stand by the point that the idea of a scared child causing an event because they're so afraid is very much like Star Trek's past stories. Someone causes something because they're alone and scared. Hopefully Sakal gets to leave the ship, and given that the final episode of Season 3 is called Outside, I say that connects with it, as the outside of the ship was mentioned a lot in this episode. So where do we go from here? Well, from the trailer and what Osiris said at the end of this episode, she is stealing the USS Discovery and likely going to assault the Federation headquarters. I think this might result in a battle between Starfleet and their own ship, one which has also been upgraded with their latest tech as well. Or perhaps the spore drive technology will be stolen by Osira and the Emerald Chain to further their schemes around the galaxy, as we do know they're running out of dilithium and therefore resorting to drastic measures. Either way, I'm super excited for episode 12 and can't wait to see what it holds for the crew of the Discovery and hopefully for more information on the Burn with Captain Saru and Dr. Culber. Thinking about it, we're kind of on a time limit here, as both Saru and Culber only have 4 hours to survive down the planet. Oh, and now a day or 2. Before we end off our weekly Star Trek Discovery review, I'd like to personally thank each and every one of you for a fantastic year we've had here on Trek Central, and a massive thank you for supporting the channel here on YouTube. Whether it be our weekly reviews of Star Trek Picard, Lower Decks, or Discovery over the past year, we've thoroughly enjoyed bringing fantastic and quality content to your screens each week. I've also got to say a big thank you to my team here at TC, who strive to always bring you the best content and really enjoy what they do in producing quality stuff, not only for myself, but also for you guys, and really uplifting the channel to where it is currently. Honestly, I can't wait to show you what we've got to do next here on the channel and showcase some exciting surprises we've got coming up in 2021. I already know what some of them are, and you're going to enjoy them is all I'm going to say. It's really going to be exciting. Stick around as we've got some fantastic things to share with you. Now for myself and everyone here at Trek Central, the entire team, we'd like to wish you a happy Christmas or happy holidays, no matter what you celebrate around the world, and of course wish you a happy new year as well. 2021 is hopefully going to bring us a fresh new year where hopefully we can get out and enjoy things again, you know, being safe at the same time, etc. And hopefully, just hopefully, there might be some Star Trek events going on around the world where we can all celebrate the fantastic franchise of Star Trek in person at an event maybe. We'll have to see. Make sure it's safe, but hopefully it will be. For now, I leave you at the end of this video. Live long and prosper, my friends, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Star Trek news, lore, and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends.